Game on, Brendan for the ball.
Welcome back to the action here at Players Championship 2, live from Barnsley Metrodome, where Brendan Dolan is about to take on Willie O'Connor.
Inside.
Friends away from the hockey, but there are no friends on it, and Brendan Dolan produced a fabulous run right down to the semi-finals yesterday, was beaten by Jeff Smith, but has made a fabulous start to his 2020 campaign as he bids to follow up a 2019 season which saw him pick up PDC titles numbers 6 and 7. It was also a landmark year for Willie O'Connor, the Irishman who won his first PDC title here in Barnsley in the middle of last year.
85.
Players Championship 13 when he defeated Nathan Aspinall in the final. But will have to do something that he rarely does, and that is see off his Northern Irish counterpart Brendan Dolan, who has won 4 of the 5 meetings before this one between the pair, including one last August in the Austrian Darts Championship, the most recent. The state of play here at
85.
Players Championship 2 is that Michael Van Gerwen, Jamie Hughes, Mike Kyvenhoven, James Wade, Peter Wright, Adrian Lewis and Nathan Aspinall have all progressed into the third round from the top half of the draw so far. In the bottom half, Ian White, Johnny Clayton, Glenn Durant, Gerwin Price, Neil Sonneveld and Darius Labanauskas, who defeated Lisa Ashton after she won her first match as a PDC Pro earlier today with a 100 average. They're all through in the bottom half.
$100.
With the last bout of second round matches going on around the arena. 16 boards set up,
97.
plus the 2 streaming boards where matches are moved for your entertainment. The next one will feature Nathan Aspinall, who beat Peter Jake 6-4 in his second round match against Brown. Which Brown? Well, that remains to be seen. It's going to be Keegan or Steve, and they're tied at 3 apiece over on board 8 right now.
60.
Keegan Brown, of course, has hit a 9-darter already today, as has Scott Baker. We've had 2, just as we did yesterday. O'Connor will probably look at treble 10 here. That's what he was aiming for. Brendan Dolan has the chance to break. Double top.
Game shot.
Brendan picks his opponent's pocket in the opening leg. Lost out to Gary Anderson in the World Championship. Brendan Dolan in the second round, having seen off Nitin Kumar in the first.
39.
As for O'Connor, he also enjoyed a first round victory against Marco Cantile, but then had a mathematical meltdown, didn't he, in defeat to Gerwin Price in round 2. Ended up taking aim at the wrong double at the tie-break, the back end of that match, allowing the Iceman to avoid an early exit and progress to the semi-finals, where he lost to Peter Wright, who went on to win the whole thing, the world champion we've just seen.
140.
Defeat Nick Kenny, and Wright lies in wait in round 3 for the winner of this.
100. $60. 58.
Well, Willie O'Connor so far is cutting a rather frustrated figure. Still shaking his head, and there you can see practicing his,
60.
not quite his throw, but just the way he sets up the shot in the background. Clearly not happy with his game.
100.
And it could be 127 in game if Brendan Dolan can mop up this three-figure out.
$71.
For the first dart put paid to his chances there. O'Connor, you can see him very deliberately trying to keep his head still, position himself in the right place.
44.
Worked with the first dart, but the second and third got away from the targets, and now Brendan Dolan trying to G himself up. Very similar combination to the one that he took out in the first leg. That was 76 with 3 darts, the second two being 16, second and third rather, being 16 and tops. The first and second
58.
finding the same segment to win leg 2 and double his lead.
$58.
A few more results filtering through. A clash of World Championship runners-up, Kirk Shepherd and Andy Hamilton, and Shepherd has got the better of the hammer, 6-4.
60.
6-4 win for Neil Zonneveld over Christoph Ratajski. Impressive result for Zonneveld there. Dirk van Dijvenbode also through to the last 32.
100.
He's beaten Ricky Evans by 6 legs to 3.
$54. $97. $45. $98. $99.
Beautiful stuff from Brendan Dolan.
120.
Couldn't quite complete the combination, but leaves himself handily placed and perfectly placed for a double break of throw here.
60.
Performance hasn't been brilliant by any stretch of the imagination for either player. But Brendan Dolan is having it all his own way so far. 2 breaks, 3-0. And this is only with an average of 82 from Brendan Dolan. O'Connor really off the boil in this one. Was beaten
180.
in the opening round yesterday, Willie O'Connor, by Jamie Hughes. That went all the way down to a last leg decider. He has, of course, won a match today to get to this stage, that against Devon
100.
Peterson. Triumphing by 6 legs to 4. And now Brendan Dolan, well, I was about to say he's eyeing up a perfect leg, but the chance disappeared with the wayward darts, and we're all getting a little bit greedy anyway. We've had 4 this weekend.
134. $100.
He has resolved to leave the 1-4-1 anyway, but after 9 darts, not for the 9 darter.
100.
The rate they're going in lately, anyone would think that perfect legs were easy. I once hit 3 9s throwing darts, but I was aiming for the 20 segment at the time.
60.
Well, I assume Brendan Dolan would go for 12 for double 16 here, but he has been deadly on tops in this match. It is the usual MO. And it's another first time double hits by Brendan Dolan, who goes 4 up on his good friend Willie O'Connor. Won't feel like a friend, Willie Willie.
$77.
An interesting result coming through from round 2. We saw both Mensa Suljovic and Mike Kijvenhoven in their first round matches. I was quite impressed by Kijvenhoven, who had a very good run to the quarterfinals yesterday, and he's backing it up today, a 6-3 win against Suljovic to move into the last 32.
85.
Speaking of backing it up, Jeff Smith, a finalist here yesterday, has just knocked out Daryl Gurney. What a list of names he's been beating this weekend. A 6-5 win for the Canadian there. Who knows how far he could go today. Dave Chisnell has just completed victory against Matt Clark, 6-4. And we are going to see in the third round Nathan Aspinall against either Keegan Brown, who's hit a 9 darter today, or Steve Brown. That match is currently tied at 5 apiece.
94.
But a 180 in the last leg has put Keegan in control. We'll give you confirmation as soon as that result comes through. Willie O'Connor looking likely to finally get a leg on the board.
60.
Will be some kind of darting disaster for that not to happen from here.
Game shot.
A disaster averted. And the prospect of a whitewash can be put out of his mind now. I can confirm that Keegan Brown has won that match against his namesake Steve, and will be up here on the live stream next against Nathan Aspinall in our third round match choice.
$58.
Aspinall, who is gearing up to defend his UK Open crown next month. Between now and then, of course, he'll continue his pursuit
100.
of success in the Premier League. Aspinall got himself off to a winning start, seeing off John Henderson 7-3 in Aberdeen on Thursday night. He'll head to Nottingham to face Rob Cross. More on the Asp next, as he toes the hockey here. May only be a couple of legs away from that. The match choice over on stream 2 with Dan Dawson will be Glenn Durrant against Dirk van Dijvenbode.
$59. $100.
A flicker of hope in this leg for Willie O'Connor. Needs to pile in 2 trebles, you feel.
40.
Well, that flame has been blown out. I'm not sure if Brendan Dolan had quite decided where he was going to go when he got to the hockey there, and that might be one of the reasons why he missed the 19 segment completely. He was looking to hit 4 19s to leave double top. In the end, he's back for that target anyway. I can't really use that as a guide. Nor that.
No score.
And all 3 darts have followed each other And all of a sudden, O'Connor has a chance to get a break of throw. Needed the treble to leave double 16.
54.
Can Brendan get his range right this time? Well, he can use that as a guide. And he does. And he finds himself one leg away from victory, and Willie O'Connor impatient to get to the oche and perhaps get this over with.
97.
Jermaine Watermain are the latest player through to the third round. A 6-4 win for him against Kai Fan Leung.
100.
Steve West joins him. He's seen off Dirk Telnicker's 6-3.
140.
Ryan Searle has beaten Mervyn King 6-5 and will face Michael van Gerwen in round 3. Adrian Lewis also a winner, semi-finalist yesterday. We're going to see the rise of jackpot in
38.
2020, the long-awaited second coming of the two-time world champion. He's beaten Justin Pipe 6-1.
57. $96.
Well, O'Connor in command in the leg, but Dolan has control of the match.
134. $131.
57. Double 8.
65.
Did the hard bit, but the bit that Brendan has found easy in this match, O'Connor, well, one, he hasn't had enough opportunities, and two, has at times struggled when he's got that chance. Now Brendan Dolan was looking to win it in style, but what he has done has applied an awful lot of pressure onto his opponent's shoulders. He shouldered it well, brushed it off. Still a long, long way to go if Willie O'Connor has ambitions of progressing further in this tournament. But the 1,000-mile journey begins with but a single step. And let me tell you, you'd rather be 5-2 down than 6-2 down. Well, that's perfect for Brendan to follow. Hasn't been able to. You could just see the grimace there because he knew that that was a quite beautiful dart.
$58.
They are what's known as table mates on the Pro Tour, this pair. And one of them is going to have to sit around and wait for the other one because no doubt they are scheduled to be on the same flight home.
140.
O'Connor seems to be
58.
fully aware that he's on the brink of having to sit and watch Brendan Dolan for the rest of the afternoon rather than have Brendan Dolan watch him.
138.
Although that shot puts the cat somewhat among the pigeons.
Game shot on the match.
But that is that, and Brendan Dolan, well, he never looked like losing it, did he? Willie O'Connor just could not get going. Dolan wasn't an awful lot better, but he was clinical on the outer ring, and that's what counts in this game. He moves through to the third round with a 6-2 success against his good friend Willie O'Connor. And he's in the third round, will be in the third round next, with a match featuring a 9-dart hero from today, Keegan Brown, and the UK Open champion, Nathan Aspinall.